All right, we are live. Welcome to Jason and Friend. Now, this is the third time we do this, and the first two times was really very interesting. The idea here of a Jason and Friend session is to bring experts who is building a course with me to come and share something more about his course. Of course, that's the first thing, and on top of that, to answer some questions that you have regarding whatever that we are talking about. So today we are having Zander over here, which is wait, hang on. This is what we call the designing with Canva featuring Zander. So today it's Canva. How many of you uses Canva, and how many of you thinks that you're a bloody expert in Canva? Come on, man. Seriously, I was just telling because I'm running my 6DC, I was just telling my student, having an account with Canva doesn't mean that you can master that. Agree or not, Zander?
Actually, I have an account with Canva for very, very long, until like last year. Then I started using, then I discovered that it's so powerful.
Correct.
And I started to ditch my Photoshop because I was heavy Photoshop user.
I'm a heavy AI user, Adobe Illustrator. So when I first started learning training, I'm not a trained designer, but I'm a self-taught designer. I was using AI since the day one until now, So I have done magazine design, I've done billboard design and all this kind of shit, crazy thing. I've done all this magazine cover. So the thing here is, but then I realized AI is kind of like difficult to learn. So I signed up my Canva account, I think at least about 5-6 years ago, I think. And then still very much on AI until recently, I shifted more on Canva because something that I probably need about 15 minutes to get done now on Canva, 3 minutes, 5 minutes.
That is true.
So much time, man.
That is true. That is true. I think it's kind of like, because we started out with more complex software, and then we have the perception that Canva is kind of easy, too simple.
For non-designer, right? For non-designer.
Yeah. But when you start to use it, you realize so much time is like, there are certain things you take multiple steps to do in Photoshop. Canva can do it in just a few steps. Although, of course, right, there's like a downside to Canva, lah. Certain things can't do. But most of the time, like 95 or 96% of the time, is that most of the features that you need in Photoshop, you don't use it that regularly. Exactly. Most of the things that you need, Canva can fulfill already.
Can you imagine all this shortcut thing, right? Who spend so much time to go and Google, watch YouTube, how to do all this shortcut and all that, all dish away. So, okay, now as we all know, Zander is a marketer. He is actually a founder of several startups, and he is the guy who actually, you are a trained designer, right?
By education, I understand the design basic and all the stuff, but professionally, I'm not, say, like designer in design agency and stuff like that. It's just that in my career, because I am trained in terms of understanding the design basics and the tools, there's a lot of times where I just need to get my hands dirty and do the stuff. Like, for example, I started out in a career in game industry as a game artist, so I should draw stuff, design, game interface and all this stuff, right? Then I move on to do marketing and project management, then my own startup. But throughout all this career, is that, sometimes do presentation deck, you also need to make it look nice, make it look appealing. That's where like the design basic skills comes in. It's kind of a complementary, like you can do business, but if your presentation deck is not as appealing, not say it's a thing that not say it's a bad thing, but if you have design skills to enhance it, it kind of elevates the whole presentation process.
I totally agree. And another thing about a designer, a marketer who design, okay, is that we have an advantage to really put something that is in our head into something that is totally because the biggest challenge for a lot of marketers is this, you have a lot of things in over here, but you do not know how to communicate effectively with your designer. You do not know what to tell your designer on what's in here. Of course, you cannot just, then download all this thing over there, right? So a lot of times the biggest challenge is, the through and flow discussion, whereby your designer may come up with something that is not on par, then you need to whatever. But if you know how to design, the best thing is you actually save all the time in the hustle.
I agree. Like back then in game industry, I was talking to programmers and then to designers and then to maybe even the biz dev, right? So that's why I found my skill sets kind of interesting, because I was able to use visuals to communicate to all the different stakeholders. So that really helps save a lot of time. Like, you can do wireframes, you can, just come up with a quick presentation with all the visual elements that's needed. Everyone gets the same picture.
Correct. And Canva can do all this. But before, I mean, really, before we dive into the whole thing, we have a few questions that has been lined up for you, Zander. Now, the first question that we have here is like, okay, as a non-designer, why should I learn to use Canva? Why is Canva so powerful for a person who do not design?
So I would think that, especially if right now you are maybe running a business or trying to get digital presence on social media. Now, I mean, everyone is getting on social media, right? And the fact is that on social media, there's so many content creators. And if your post or your thing don't grab the attention with good design in the first place, it's very hard for you to reach out to your audience. So my perspective is that learning Canva and the design basics is important, because then whatever they put out there is more likely to grab attention. A good looking kind of post versus, say, a badly designed post, it makes a big difference. And of course,
Definitely.
Canva, it's really easy to learn. I think if you have used PowerPoint in your life, PowerPoint, design presentation with PowerPoint, Canva is just a slightly more advanced version of that.
Awesome.
So I'm pretty confident that anyone who is a non-designer but you have used PowerPoint before, Canva should not be anything difficult to learn.
And you just pick up you just mentioned a very important point, which is the design sense. You see, a lot like I mentioned just now, knowing how to use Canva is one thing, but knowing how to make it beautiful. You see, and a lot of times, a lot of people get intimidated by so-called the design sense. They thought that it's going to be something very abstract and all that. But I saw your deck. You put it so simple and understandable in a structured way that, okay, in terms of font, what kind of consideration you should have in terms of color missing, I think it's totally learnable. So, I mean, guys, you're watching this, right? Seriously, Zander is teaching live in this Zander's Canva design training on the 4th to 6th of May. So basically, it's going to be like the same thing as what we do, which is a live training for at least an hour or so every day for 3 days in a row. So he break it down into it's such a way that it's so easy to grasp. Like the day one, he's going to talk about what do we call the basics, the tools. And day two, we're going to talk about the sensors. And day three is going to put the work to really learn how to do Facebook ads in that way, right? So if you want to learn, this is where you can sign up and learn live. Next week, if you are watching this live, then you can join and learn live. The benefit of learning live with Zander is definitely you'll be able to ask questions. But if you're watching this as a replay, don't worry, still go to this link away as well. Why? Because after the training, we're going to repurpose it and turn it into an evergreen training that you can buy and start learning right away. So it's equally good, basically, because it's definitely coming from the same guy, Zander, right? It's just the thing. So yeah, this is the link, jasongan.net/go/learn. That's Canva. So go there, right? And guys, if you guys have any questions regarding this course or even any questions regarding Canva design and whatnot, right? Post them away in the comment section and I'll get Zander to answer. Today, we set to do half an hour. But if we have more questions, we don't mind, right? Like now we already have, this is Christine. Hey, Christine, hey, long time no see, Christine. Christine's our fellow JIC member, but Christine is too busy to join us most of the time. But anyway, Christine, are you joining us this round? This is Zander from Singapore, right? If you haven't met him.
Hi, Christine.
This guy usually join a JIC, but you don't, Christine. Make some time, come over. Okay, now let's move to the next question. Okay, which is something that concerns a lot of people. Okay, because the moment you go to Canva, we know that, okay, there is a free version, but is free version sufficient? I mean, first, is it free to use? And is it sufficient? Do I need to go for the paid version, which I may not have the money, right? So what's your take on this?
So to me, honestly, on my personal account, I am actually using the free one. I'm not using the paid because there are quite a few workarounds in the sense where unless you say you need, they have premium features like, for example, scheduler. You can design your post and then post it directly to the social media. Those are really convenient, but you can do without it unless you really want. Other things that is so-called included in the paid are like extra premium resources, like stock photos, some of the elements, the objects I can use. Those are really good, but you can also choose not to use them if you don't want to.
True.
Yeah. So in my opinion is that free is really good enough to start with. It has so many features jam-packed in it, a lot of available free resources. So until the point where you think that your business has taken off or you are very comfortable with it, you want more, then go for the paid. Because if not, then I believe that free is more than enough.
More than enough,
Yeah.
right? I actually agree.
There's some premium tools like remove background, but there
Canva,
are
you can
so
do
in the
something
course
else.
I'm going to share one site where you can use it for free, and it works exactly the same as the premium tool in Canva. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that one
yeah.
is really super valuable. You don't need to use the premium tool in Canva.
Awesome, awesome. So
Yeah.
basically, as what we learned from here is, Canva is free to use, and the free version is good enough for you to join and reap most of the benefit of Canva being a powerful design tool for non-designer, right? So again, right, if you want to learn, Zander has a course to talk about Canva design, and he mentioned that he has got several tips and things that he will only share inside the course. So do tune in if you can join us live on the 4th to 6th of May. But if you're watching this as a replay, don't worry, still can go to this link and sign up because it's going to be an evergreen course that you can sign up and learn right away. All right. So, okay, now the next question here. Basically, can I use Canva for commercial use? Is there any restrictions that whatever that I created using the free version, that I'm not allowed to publish it as a commercial use or any whatever CC license kind of thing? Is there any issue with that?
This one, right, according to Canva, I mean, I've been trying to read and understand as well. The only kind of things that is against their rules is, of course, if you download their stock images and then you try to resell them, then that one is definitely a no-no. But as far as I'm concerned, whatever that you design and all this, you can use it for commercial.
I can
As
even
long as
sell
you
it to my client.
Yeah, as long as you don't sell the original image, you make
Right.
modifications, you actually do your work on it. It's kind of okay. Yeah,
So technically, it
but
turns into a
they
designer.
it's better to read the terms and conditions time to time, like, because they do update. They say, sometimes. I mean, I read on the forums that the terms and conditions do change.
From time to
Yeah, so
time.
from time to time, so it's still better to just check in. But majority wise, it shouldn't be a problem because it's being used by more than 30 million people per month.
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah,
the
it's
number of
really,
the user growth is insane.
yeah, imagine they change one rule, it impacts a lot of their business
Correct.
model.
A lot of people will be
Yeah,
like, jumping
yeah,
and everything already, right? So cool,
yes,
cool.
yes.
So basically, I mean, what we learned from here is that first, really glue your eyes to the whatever terms and conditions of whatever policy that they're having. But technically, as long as you're not making money with the image that you directly download from them, I think that should be fine. If you're selling your own modification, like as in your own design using whatever element that is being given, I think it should be fine. Okay. Now I have this is a very important question because we all know that Canva itself is so powerful inside there. There are so many things that we can do. So what are the must-use Canva tool for you that you
Must you
think they are
Canva?
really important? Yeah, must use.
One thing that I definitely use very often is the align tool. That one in
Ah,
Photoshop or in Illustrator, you have it, right? That one helps and save a lot of time.
true,
So
true.
to make sure that your alignment and all this is there. And of course, I think Canva is one of the free software that I saw that has shortcuts also. So
Oh,
very, very important to
that's
learn the shortcuts.
I have no
Yeah.
clue. Serious?
Yeah, there's not as many as say like Photoshop or Illustrator, but the shortcuts are there, and if you learn it, it enhance or accelerate your design process. So it's
Oh, yeah,
pretty
man.
cool. Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know there are
yeah,
shortcuts because never heard of. I mean, AI
and
we
I mean,
have a lot lah.
yeah, and the thing is that Canva has been upgrading quite frequently, so they have been adding new features and all this stuff. So like
Okay.
I think just 2 days or 3 days ago, they changed some parts of their UI. So while I was preparing this course, like, something is new. I didn't see this before.
Then we
Yeah.
can
So
do
they
this
have been
then.
constantly upgrading. It's really, really cool.
Okay. So what about the third one? So the first one we talk about the alignment, alignment, right? The
Yeah,
align tool,
alignment and then the shortcuts.
the shortcut, and the third one
Yeah.
would be
And the third one, of course, I think it's that you should use the rulers and the guidelines. So, like for example, when you are designing, right, on the monitor, sometimes it's hard to see where are the margins and all the stuff. And for a designer tool, it's definitely best when they have rulers. So you can see the measurement, the pixels. You can put guidelines so that you know these are the safe boundaries. You don't go beyond that. So all these are the things that will kind of help you notice danger zones, like don't go over there
yeah,
because you
man.
set the margins with guidelines and all the stuff like that. Yeah, so those are the tools that I use, definitely will use because it you mean basically when you don't have all these guideline stuff, you just use your naked eye, your judgment can always go wrong. Like you
Yep.
cannot trust your own eyes. So all these tools are essential and definitely must use.
Are you going to cover all these tools inside your course?
Yeah, definitely, because these are the essentials that I think even for non-designers is a good practice to start using. It will accelerate their learning and create design faster.
Awesome, awesome. So guys, just in case you missed the the announcement just now, Zander is building a course with us, and he's gonna teach us how to use Canva to design, eye-catching, whatever. What was the word that you're using?
Stunning images.
Stunning images. Using Canva itself. And you will be able to learn this and implement this right away in a few days' time. So this is gonna happen on the 4th to 6th live. It's gonna be a live training. We're going to do this at 3 p.m. Malaysia time. But if you're watching this as a replay, if you already passed 6th of May, doesn't matter. You can still go to this link because we're going to repurpose it into like a posted course that you can, on-demand course that you can straight away purchase and learn right away. So yeah, it's going to be there. Now, since we talk about course, right, Zander, I mean, do you think anyone can become a good designer by the end of the course that you are doing with us? Anyone, really? I can, without any background, I come in, I can do something that amazes my boss. Can I?
I would say that there's no guarantee for that, definitely. But I would promise that by the end of the course, you will have better design sense. You will have the understanding of what are the things that you should be looking out for. So the basic principles that all professional designer use, the toolkits. So toolkits like understanding color contrast, understanding the hierarchy of how you draw attention to certain things. So those are the toolkits that all designers will learn. And I'm trying to present it in a way where it's simple enough for non-designers to understand as well. So once you understand those concepts, you will be equipped with the ability to kind of self-critique your work, which is very important. Because designing, even for myself, like if I don't do design for a long time and I start designing again, sometimes it looks like crap. It looks bad. And I will have to go through the same process about self-critiquing and understanding what go wrong and stuff like that. So it's always a thing that you fall back to. So understanding that you are able to do the self-critique, and then I would say creativity and design sense is like a muscle. You have to continue training, and the more stuff that you look at, the more critique or the more you try to verbalize your own design logic, why this thing is here, why is that. Overall, that package, you will become a good designer in a faster time.
I can totally resonate that. As a fellow trainer, I think what is really important for us to learn something new is really just the first thought that you have to come in here is you're going to learn what you don't know that you don't know. You see, the key here is that when you go into the course itself, right? Because before that, I never know that, oh, this thing exists. Oh, I can do this. So the moment you know all these things that, which put you on the right track, and you'll be able to just, accelerate in a better way instead of going bang on the walls on your own, right?
In my own words, it's like when I first joined the 60C challenge.
Right.
It's like, oh shit, that's how you do it.
Yeah, so many things, right? Because you thought that,
there.
correct? You thought that you have already been doing it, and you thought that, like, you have a Canva account, then you thought that you know how to do this already. But in fact, we have not explored so many things in there, and we have not learned the right way of using a lot of tools in there. The moment you are being put in the right track, everything is good. All right, that's a good one. Right. Yep.
So I'm just saying that it's kind of like a fast track. So at least you become aware of the things that you are not aware of. So at least then you can kind of focus and grow from there. Like for myself, I am also trying to keep learning because Canva is also upgrading a lot of new features time to time, right? So I'm also checking out how other people are using Canva, different tips and tricks. And then from there, I'm also learning. So I'm also sharing whatever research I've done so far in this course as well.
Right. So guys, if you want to join, this is a live training that Zander is building with us. He's going to train live on the 4th to 6th of May at 3 p.m. And then basically, if you are joining this live next week, then you'll be able to ask questions and do with him. Basically, he has put it in such a way that you can just progressively learn, and one day and another, then you're going to be definitely better in 3 days down the road. So if you're even watching this as a replay, don't worry, you can still go to this link and purchase it as an on-demand course after this. And you can start learning and on your own pace and right away, right? So now I have a quick question. This is something very important. Let's say if I'm a new Canva designer, I'm a new Canva user. what would be the 3 advice that you would give to me in order to help me start right? You were talking about things that I don't know, right? Fine. I mean, before I join your course, what are the things that I need to bear in mind first at the moment?
I would say that actually for Canva, if let's say you're totally new to Canva, right? The first thing that is going to be the most useful is definitely the templates, right? Even you have not attend any design course or whatever, the templates that is provided by Canva, super perfect for beginners. Like they have everything preset for you. You just go in, change the text, change the color and everything. You are set to go, right? But of course, if you have designs, the understanding the basic design principles, then your choices of colors or choices of fonts will be different. So I would say that for beginners, if you go in with no design training, use the templates, and then you can kind of get started already, right? Then the other thing I would say that build your resource library. Resource library meaning like stock photos, like understanding where are the places where you can get stock photos. So kind of build out your library so that when you need design, you know where to go to and then pull out the resources that you need, right? And then of course the other thing that I will emphasize on is learn shortcuts, because that one is really time saving. I really emphasize on that. The faster you design, the more time you can do other stuff.
Well, you make me so look forward to your course next week already. Seriously, I'm so excited about that, because these are all the things that I don't know, and I really want to. Because to be frank, the version of AI that I have on my laptop is kind of like age. It's kind of already outdated, you know.
Are you
And
using like the Creative Suite version?
I don't know, like donkey years ago, because kind of like, you know, that was the time where we was purchased, and now you want to buy, it's so expensive right now, right? So it's kind of like, okay, let's hold on over there first. Okay, so that's a good one, right, guys? Okay, basically, if you have any questions, you can type away in the comment section. Even though no questions is a stupid question. Anything that you want to ask about Canva, right? You can bring them in over here, so we don't mind. Seriously, you know, Zander won't mind. Now, basically, the next question. Oh, I think this one is good, right? What are the three tools or things Canva can do that people don't know? I mean, it's design, right? I come in and do design. Is that all? Is there anything else that they can do but I don't know? Or
Yeah,
we don't know?
for this one is also I was very surprised when I saw they roll out this feature. It's like you can actually do presentation deck and then do the presentation with Canva. So you have presentation notes. It's almost like PowerPoint. So basically they are fighting the PowerPoint market share, right? You do all
Wow.
the presentation in Canva, right? And then you press one button, present. It goes full screen, and then you can also have a presenter note at the side.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
that's very
wow,
cool.
this is crazy, man.
Yeah, I
So
actually
they
just
were
discovered it like a few weeks ago.
awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so they
So
even allow you to show your webcam. So you have a small circle at the bottom, and then
wow,
you can do recording as well.
wow, recording.
Yeah,
Seriously, it become technically like a course recording tool already. And do they host it, or you need to, after recording, you need to download it right away?
I have not tested that one. Honestly, I've not
That's
tested that.
interesting.
I saw it, and but I haven't tried it before.
Then in a way, they are actually taking in on, you know, like the traditional so-called the presentation deck kind of thing already. They're challenging even the Google
Yep.
Slides, right? Google Slides. That's
Yeah.
interesting. So one is
Yep.
presentation. What else?
You can build websites as well, but I think it's more on. It's I would say that is the comparable to say WordPress or Wix or some other website builder. But what it does is when you create all the different pages in Canva, it kind of stacks them into a one-page website. You can create links with all this stuff. But personally, I've not tried it because I rather go to a proper website builder. But technically, if you want to do everything in Canva, just a website, a simple one-pager, you can do that. Yeah. So just design everything, then click one, publish a website. You can share the link.
Seriously.
Yes, they have a lot of funky stuff.
They're really going into different verticals now, man. They're challenging a lot of industries right now. I think that's a very interesting
Yeah,
tool. I mean, yeah.
yeah, and then the third one is that they are moving into print as well. So they have product mockups. So like the mugs, they have t-shirts I think as well. So you can put your design onto a product mockup.
And then, oh, product mockup and it will be printed, or they just let you just mock up and let you see how it looks like and something like that?
I haven't go beyond that, but I know definitely the t-shirt mock-up, all this, they have the, you know, the model and all the stuff there. But
Wow.
print-wise, I'm not sure. I haven't go that far. But if they link you up with printing, then that's insane. That's like,
It sounds
don't-
natural, right? It sounds natural.
maybe they're moving there. Yeah.
So that could be the next product roadmap that they could put in place. They probably already have it in place. Well, that's interesting. Three of these I don't know. I thought that when I asked you this question, you're gonna come to me and say that, oh, they can do video, which I already know, and things like that. Wow, all these three I never heard of. I seriously have no idea, man. That's very interesting. Wow, really, that's very interesting. I can really see Canva is really going into places, and that makes it more reason why we should really learn Canva. And guys, don't forget, you want to learn with Zander, this is the time that you can learn live. If you are joining us on the 4th to 6th, do it right now. You can sign up. We already put the link in this video and everywhere. So the idea here is just sign up, and it's, you know, with that kind of amount, you're going to learn 3 days from this guy who do this design for many years, and he's going to teach you how to really do different way. The next thing you can do is to go out and wow your audience in an entirely different way and make money out of it. That's the whole thing that we want to do, right? So, okay, now let's move to the next question that we have over here, which is, this is important. What are the 3 mistakes to avoid for Canva beginners?
I would think that definitely the more common things that I see is that when someone tries to squeeze too much information into their design, especially for ads or even for brochures or poster, whatever, banner, right? Sometimes when you browse, actually for like government posters,
Especially.
a lot of information.
Especially, yeah.
Yeah, so those are, I think, is that it doesn't really help you to get your message out because everything is just crammed together.
At the moment you look, you put off.
Yes. So I think that is the number one common mistake where I think
agree.
You should avoid, definitely. Understand the use of spacing to drive focus on the key message that you want to do. So I think that's one, right? And then lack of contrast, I think that is also something about the choice of colors that they use. For example, choosing colors that's too similar for the font and the background, and then everything kind of blends. It may look nice and pretty on the big screen that you're designing, but when you print out, right, or you put it on Facebook or whatever, suddenly it looks different.
Cannot see, cannot read.
Yeah, even for myself, I make these kind of mistakes.
Same.
There's one time I was printing name cards, and then I was trying to fit a QR code. So I put the QR code too small, and now print out that cannot scan.
Wow. That one painful, man.
Very, very painful. So those are the kind of things where I will feel that when you're designing on a screen, everything looks nice and pretty, but always bear in mind that your end product dimension, you need to go check whether it looks okay. Yeah. So always zoom in, zoom out, and know what is the kind of the dimension that it looks like, the final output, the size of it. Yeah.
Cool. So that's 2. What is the third one?
The third one
to avoid.
The third one would be definitely using the default colors that are presented in the Canva itself. So Canva has provided, like PowerPoint, they give you all the default colors. So sometimes beginners, they'll just use those colors immediately by clicking and all this stuff. But I think the better way is, of course, to understand how can you pick colors using eyedrop. It's not available on Canva. I mean, they have a custom color allowed you choose, but what I'm saying is that if you have a brand color, then make sure you are able to put your brand color in. Or if you want to pick color specifically from another design that you see, there are some Chrome extensions that you can use that allow you to pick color from your laptop, and you just copy the code and use it in Canva.
Wow.
Yeah. So
are you covering this in your course?
Yeah, definitely will share, because these are the things that I felt is essential to know.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of things to share, man, in this course. That's why you build it into a 3-day course, right? So next question that I have over here is, okay, what can I expect at the end of the design course that you're talking about? You know, the Canva design course that you're putting together with us. What can I expect towards the end of it? What can I learn?
Towards the end, I would think that good understanding or solid understanding of the designer toolkits. So the things that you fall back to when you look at your own design, how do you critique it? I think that is the number one critical takeaway that I hope that everyone will take from this course, because without that, I mean, tools are tools. Canva is one. You can go Photoshop, you can go Illustrator, whatever it is. But design basics is design basics. You need to take that away and master that, right? So that's definitely the key thing that I hope everyone can take away from that. Then, of course, again, I'll emphasize on shortcuts because it's lifesaver. Save a lot of your time. This one definitely I will drill through. I prepared a compilation of the shortcuts there. I'll also
Wow.
do a run through lah. So make it slightly easier for you to understand. So I'll just demo the shortcuts on the screen. But you can download the shortcuts and print it out, whatever that you need. So I think that will accelerate the process. Yep.
So you mean that not
So-
just the learning itself, you're going to prepare some downloadable items for us to really use. Wow, that's a lot of things in a course that is being priced at that price, man. Seriously.
Yeah, just for me, it's really whatever I think is good, I'm trying to jam pack all this in. So hopefully the takeaway will be very, very good for everyone.
I can totally foresee that it's going to be like a totally over-delivered kind of training already. So guys, if you are watching this and you're still on the on the fence, this is the course that you have to join right now. Zander's Canva design training is going to be on the 4th to 6th of May. At 3 p.m. we're going to go live. We're going to teach live. And the benefit of learning live is you get to ask questions as we move along. But don't worry, if you're not watching this as a replay and it's already past 6th of May, you can still go to this link and sign up, because it's going to be what do we call it, on-demand program that you can buy and start learning right away at your own pace. All right, so that's the course that we are talking about today. Any last piece of advice for our audience over here before we go off?
Last piece of advice. I would think that having inspirations, looking at beautiful designs, that is definitely the first step. Of course, if we are talking strictly about Facebook ads, start collecting print screen, print other people's ad that you like, and save them in your gallery. So those will be your resource library or your reference library. Whenever you need inspiration, just fall back and, hey, why this one look nice? Why this one doesn't look that great? Yeah. So those would be my suggestion that you can start doing right now.
Yeah, and most importantly, join the course. That's the whole idea here. You got to really join this live training if you can. If you can't, then still go to learn this anyway, because I guarantee you, the expert that I work with would never let you down. Trust me on that. So, right. So I think that's all we have for today. Thank you so much, Zander. And guys, I look forward to see you
for having me.
No problem. Thank you for joining us. This is our 3rd session of Friends and Jason and Friend. And we're going to do this more often. Hopefully I can, the other day I was just going live on the Free Marketer show. I was saying that, we're going to go live on Monday at 10. I was like, hey, no, it's not Monday. So I go live like almost every day. So until I forgot when is when. Anyway, by the way, we're going to see each other again on Sunday night at 10 p.m. This is where I do my AMA to answer your questions. So any questions you have regarding Facebook ads, post them away. I'll see you again on Sunday. And thanks, Zander. See you next week.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
guys. Have a good weekend, guys. Bye. Good night.